my famous rolled lasagna. So the first thing you do is saute carrots, onions, and celery in a little bit of butter and olive oil, okay? And when those are a little bit translucent and soft, what you do is you add your ground beef. You crumble that up. You don't have to overcook that at this point.
Right, just take the color off.
Just take the color off. Okay, then you put in a cup of milk, a whole milk, and then you basically let that cook all the way out.
That's the really, you have to go piano piano in Italian, step by step with bolognese, right?
Yes, so and you got to take your time with this. This cooks, takes about a 4-hour project, the bolognese itself. Okay, so then after the milk cooks out, then what you want to do is add about a cup of white wine. And, you know, in Marcella's honor, I'm not going to really measure it, but just eyeball it. All right, so now then you let the wine cook all the way out as well.
Right,
so
you let it absorb into the meat and the alcohol starts to burn off and the flavor intensifies.
Intensified flavor, right? So then when you get past that point, you add your diced tomatoes. So I use a really good quality organic tomato, and then you let that cook. You bring this up to a simmer, a very light boil. Once you've stirred this all together,
just a bubble.
Right, and then you turn that heat down so low, it's like you just barely even bubbles.
Every once in a while it goes.
Just a little bit. That's it. And you come back every half an hour and you give it a stir, and then you step away, set the timer, come back another half an hour. If it gets too dry, you add a little bit of water to it. Now, I know that you like to use a Parmesan rind water.
I like warm water stock with a parm rind in it, so it's like adding cheese water to the sauce. That's not a bad thing.
Okay, so that's going to cook for 3 hours. Then when you're all done, you put that in the refrigerator. Let it come down to room temperature. You put it in the refrigerator. It's going to look like that. Okay.
Like that guy. I don't want your butter to burn, so I'm holding it.
Great. Well, let's move on to the bechamel. This is the other thing that I do a day or two in advance. Couple tablespoons of butter, couple tablespoons of flour. Exactly. Thank you. Give that a good whisk.
Yes,
That's called like a roux when you add butter and flour together. You don't want to overcook the roux. Just a little bit hot milk in a steady stream. Just like so, like a so, like a so.
Like a so, like a so, like a so.
Okay, and then you just keep cooking that until it thickens up. As it's thickening up, you take a nice pinch of salt.
Thank you, sir.
Take a pinch of pepper, and then you take a nice grating of fresh nutmeg. This is that beautiful
freshly grated nutmeg's essential to besh.
Then you let that cook for a little bit until it gets nice and thick. All right. Then I put that in the refrigerator as well, so it's thickened almost to the point of paste the next day.
I'm gonna bail on that then.
Bail on that. Okay, we're gonna walk away. Now, I make my pasta sheets from scratch.
Gotcha.
Okay, which is a project. If you make your own pasta, it's a lot of work.
It's a fun project, though.
It's a fun project. It destroys the kitchen. The flour, there's flour everywhere. It takes a while to. But if you don't want to make your own pasta sheets, I totally understand. You can buy fresh pasta sheets, but you have to buy soft, fresh pasta sheets. You cannot use the hard sheets and boil them.
Right.
You'll take a little bit of bechamel.
Yes, sir.
And spread that on one pasta sheet, like so. Okay. You don't need to put too much in here because this sort of acts as a little bit of a glue. We're also adding cheese. And then I take some of this cold bolognese.
Yum.
I dot that on there as well. And here's a little bit of fresh mozzarella that you've grated yourself. You put that on as well. Then you take the best quality Parmesan cheese, Parmigiano cheese you can find.
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Okay, and then you give that a good sprinkling of
I love it when you give me a good sprinkling.
Okay, and then we roll these up into pinwheels, just like so. So you want to basically, the height of these, you go by the baking dish that you have. This is a pretty deep baking dish, so we're going to do about 2.5 inches for each roll here. All right, and then we do that with a serrated knife, by the way, because that makes it cut better.
It goes through it very gently.
Very
it goes
gently.
through the filling very gently.
So then once you've done a whole bunch of these, you stand them up in your lasagna pan like so. And then you surround them or like nestle them into a very quick tomato sauce. Fresh canned tomatoes, an onion, and some butter.
Nice.
And then you cook that. It's pretty easy. And then you basically like make a little warm bath for them. Sprinkle some more mozzarella cheese on top.
Up on top,
like
yeah,
so.
you got one here.
Okay, this is what it looks like when it's all finished. This is a lot, so this is gonna get nice and hot in the oven. This is what it looks like when you're all done! Oh. 2 days worth of work here, people.